The provocation. The observation deck of Helios 9 offered the best view in the colony. Commander Juniper Voss stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching the binary stars cast their golden-red light across the settlement's gleaming domes. 7 years of terraforming had transformed this once barren moon into humanity's farthest outpost, 19 light-years from Earth. 15,000 colonists called it home. Voss considered each one her responsibility. "Beautiful evening, Commander," said a voice behind her. Voss turned to see Lieutenant Darius Webb, her second-in-command. His dark skin gleamed in the reddish light, the colony's security insignia prominently displayed on his uniform. "Hardly evening, Webb. Binary star systems don't exactly give us normal day-night cycles," she replied with a half-smile. 26-hour rotations still throw me off," Webb admitted. "But I didn't come for the astronomy lesson. The council transmission you've been waiting for just arrived." Voss's expression hardened. "And? They're sending the Hyperion. ETA 4 months. 4 months, she echoed. "That's the fastest response we could hope for." Webb nodded. "The antimatter drive can only push physics so far." Voss returned her gaze to the horizon, where the colony's agricultural domes stretched toward the terraformed plains beyond. "Any unusual readings from the outer sensor array?" "Nothing since that gravitational anomaly 3 days ago. Probably just a passing comet or—" The emergency klaxon cut him off, its wail reverberating through the observation deck. The colony's AI spoke with artificial calm. "Attention. Unidentified object approaching Helios 9 atmosphere. All personnel to alert status. This is not a drill." Voss was already moving toward the command center, Webb at her heels. "Size?" she demanded. "Massive. Initial readings suggest it's nearly 2 kilometers in diameter." The command center erupted with controlled chaos as they entered. Tactical officers called out readings while security personnel armed themselves. The main viewscreen showed a spherical object descending through the upper atmosphere, its surface rippling with what looked like liquid metal. "It's decelerating," called out Lieutenant Zara Okafor from the sensor station. "No conventional propulsion detected. It's using some kind of gravitational manipulation." "Weapon status?" Voss demanded. "Defense grid online, but—" Webb hesitated. "Commander, we're looking at something well beyond our technological capability. Our railguns would be like throwing rocks at a battleship." The sphere halted 500 meters above the colony's central plaza. Colonists gathered in the streets, pointing skyward at the impossible object that now cast a shadow over half the settlement. "They're scanning us," Okafor reported. "Every frequency, every spectrum." Voss made her decision. "Open a channel. All frequencies." She straightened her uniform and faced the communications array. "This is Commander Juniper Voss of the United Earth Coalition Colony Helios 9. You have entered our sovereign territory without authorization. State your identity and purpose immediately." The response came not through the speakers but directly into everyone's minds, a telepathic broadcast that bypassed technology entirely. "We are the Arcturus Collective. Your species interests us. We come to study." Several officers clutched their heads at the intrusion. Voss remained steady, though a trickle of blood ran from her nose. "Your method of communication is harmful to our physiology," she projected firmly in her thoughts. "Please utilize our transmission frequencies instead." A pause, then the overhead speakers crackled to life. "Adaptation complete. Your primitive communication systems are inefficient but acceptable. We will commence study." "With respect," Voss replied, "any study of our colony requires consent and established protocols. We welcome peaceful contact, but must insist on mutual agreement of terms." Another pause. "Consent is irrelevant. Resistance is inefficient. Your colony provides adequate specimens." Before Voss could respond, reports flooded in from throughout the settlement. Colonists were vanishing, simply disappearing from where they stood. Security camera footage showed people being enveloped in shimmering fields before dissolving into particles. "They're harvesting people," Webb whispered in horror. Voss slammed her fist onto the emergency panel. "Colony-wide evacuation. Get everyone to the underground shelters." Turning to communications, she ordered, "Send a priority Omega transmission to Earth. Tell them we have first contact with a hostile intelligence. Include all sensor data." The Arcturus sphere pulsed with energy as more colonists disappeared. Defense turrets activated automatically, firing magnetically accelerated projectiles that simply vanished before reaching the sphere. "They're absorbing our attacks," Okafor reported. "And they're becoming more efficient at collection. We've lost over 300 colonists already." Dr. Felix Tran, the colony's chief scientist, burst into the command center. "Commander, I've analyzed their energy signature. It's like nothing we've ever seen. They're manipulating subspace to bypass normal physical laws. Can we disrupt it?" Voss asked. "Maybe. The quantum resonators in the mining sector might generate enough interference, but I'd need time to." "You have 15 minutes, Voss interrupted. "Webb, take a security team and help Dr. Tran. I'll coordinate the evacuation." As they raced from the command center, Voss opened a channel to Earth's Defense Council. The quantum entanglement communicator, their fastest method of communication, would deliver her message instantaneously despite the 19 light-year distance. "This is Commander Juniper Voss of Helios 9 with a priority Omega alert. We are under attack by an advanced alien intelligence calling itself the Arcturus Collective. They are abducting colonists for what they call study. Our weapons are ineffective. Requesting immediate assistance and authorization for the Threshold Protocol." The response came minutes later, an eternity as more colonists vanished. "Commander Voss, this is Defense Council Director Haruki Tanaka. Your request for the Threshold Protocol is approved. Stand by for transmission to the Arcturus entity." The next transmission bypassed Helios 9 systems entirely. Earth broadcast directly to the Arcturus sphere, a message so powerful it temporarily disrupted the abductions. "Attention Arcturus Collective. This message comes from Earth, homeworld of humanity. Your unprovoked aggression against our colony violates every principle of cosmic coexistence. Cease all hostile actions and return our people immediately. Failure to comply will activate the Threshold Protocol. This is your only warning." The sphere pulsed once, twice, then responded. "Your threats are meaningless. Your species is primitive but biologically fascinating. Your genetic adaptability exceeds all previous subjects. We will harvest your entire colony for study." In the mining sector, Dr. Tran and Webb's team worked frantically to modify the quantum resonators. "Almost there," Tran muttered. "If this works, it should disrupt their subspace field long enough for people to reach the shelters." "And if it doesn't?" Webb asked. Tran's eyes were grim. "Then at least Earth knows what they're facing." Back in the command center, Voss received the worst possible news. The Arcturus sphere had deployed smaller collection vessels that were now penetrating the underground shelters. The harvesting was accelerating. "Commander," Okafor called out, her voice breaking. "I'm detecting energy buildup in the sphere. It's massive." Voss understood immediately. "They're going to destroy the colony." She opened all communication channels one last time. "This is Commander Voss to all Helios 9 personnel. Emergency Protocol Omega is now in effect. I repeat, Emergency Protocol Omega is in effect." Throughout the colony, hidden transmitters activated, sending out encrypted bursts of data, complete biometric scans, memory patterns, personality matrices of every colonist. Even if their bodies were lost, something of them might survive. In the mining sector, Dr. Tran looked up as the emergency lighting shifted to deep red. "They've initiated Omega," he said quietly. "We're out of time." Then let's give them something to remember us by, Webb replied, finalizing the quantum resonator modifications. Ready? Tran nodded and activated the device. A wave of distortion rippled outward, momentarily destabilizing the Arcturus field technology. Throughout the colony, harvesting beams flickered and failed. The respite lasted exactly 42 seconds. The Arcturus sphere descended lower, now just 100 meters above the colony center. Its surface rippled like mercury as a focused beam of energy lanced downward, cutting through the main habitat dome as if it were paper. "This is Juniper Voss, final transmission," the commander spoke calmly into the quantum communicator. "The Arcturus Collective has ignored our warning. They are destroying Helios 9. All data has been transmitted via Omega Protocol. Tell Earth, tell them to make these bastards pay." The sphere released a pulse of energy that expanded outward in all directions. The colony, its structures, and everyone within it were reduced to their component atoms in an instant. Dr. Nikolai Reznikov watched the final transmission from Helios 9 in the secure bunker 20 levels beneath Geneva. Around him, the 12 members of Earth's Defense Council sat in stunned silence. 15,000 lives, whispered Counselor Veronica Diaz. Gone just like that. Director Tanaka's face was stone. The threshold protocol has been activated. We warned them. And they ignored us, Reznikov noted. As expected. Species capable of such technology rarely believe lesser civilizations can harm them. He stood and walked to the central holographic display, where the Arcturus sphere specifications rotated in 3 dimensions. Fortunately, we've been preparing for this moment for over a century. The Chimera project is ready? Tanaka asked. Ready and waiting, Reznikov confirmed. The first generation has completed training. 20 operatives, each one a masterpiece of genetic engineering and cybernetic enhancement. And the Ghost Fleet? The automated vessels are deployed throughout the Oort cloud, awaiting activation. Council members exchanged uneasy glances. These programs had consumed trillions in black budget funds over decades, all for a threat many believed would never materialize. Reznikov sensed their discomfort. Counselors, humanity has always understood a fundamental truth that the Arcturus Collective is about to learn: advanced technology doesn't guarantee victory. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy is the one with nothing left to lose. He activated his neural interface, connecting directly to the Chimera Project's secure server. This is Dr. Reznikov. Authorization Prometheus Omega 947. Activate Chimera deployment sequence. Primary target, Arcturus presence on Titan. Across the solar system, in a classified facility buried beneath the methane ice of Saturn's largest moon, 20 cryogenic chambers hissed open. Inside each, a figure stirred, human in basic shape, but fundamentally altered. Enhanced musculature beneath carbon fiber-reinforced skin. Neural processors integrated directly with enhanced brains. Sensory organs capable of perceiving spectrums no natural human could detect. The first to awaken was Operative Kale, formerly Captain Jian Zhou of Earth's Special Forces. His enhanced eyes, with pupils that contracted into reptilian slits, adjusted instantly to the dim light. Next to him, Operative Wraith, once Dr. Layla Khoury, xenobiologist, flexed fingers tipped with retractable diamond-edged claws. Status report, came Reznikov's voice through their neural implants. Chimera unit operational, Kale responded, his voice a resonant growl. Mission parameters. Arcturus harvesting vessel detected on Titan's dark side. They're mining helium-3 and abducting research personnel. Your objective, capture their technology and, if possible, take prisoners. We need to understand what we're fighting. And if capture isn't possible, asked Wraith. Reznikov's response was cold. Then ensure nothing remains for them to recover. The Arcturus Collective believes us primitive and helpless. Show them their mistake. Back on Earth, Reznikov terminated the connection and turned to the Council. It has begun. And if the Chimera fail, asked Counselor Diaz. Reznikov's smile never reached his eyes. Then we escalate to Phase 2. But one thing is certain, by the time this is over, the name of humanity will be written in the stars in letters of fire. The Arcturus Collective has crossed the threshold. Now they will learn what that means. In the void of space, as the Arcturus sphere departed the ruins of Helios 9, its sensors detected unusual activity near Saturn. The Collective's vast intelligence considered this briefly, then dismissed it as irrelevant. Such primitive beings could pose no threat to their civilization. It was the last mistake they would ever make. The Reckoning. 3 weeks after the destruction of Helios 9, the Arcturus Collective discovered what humanity was truly capable of. The harvesting vessel on Titan never reported back to the main fleet. The Collective dispatched a reconnaissance probe, only to find the facility reduced to twisted metal and frozen bodies. Their advanced technology, systems that had subjugated dozens of species across 3 galactic arms, had been not just defeated but dismantled. Analysis of the wreckage revealed the impossible: their quantum encryption had been broken, their subspace communications intercepted, and worst of all, their biological specimens had been removed with surgical precision. When the probe's findings reached the Collective's central intelligence, it recalculated humanity's threat assessment from negligible to requires immediate attention. That was precisely what Dr. Reznikov had intended. The Chimera operation was a complete success, Reznikov announced to the Defense Council. The holographic display showed footage from Titan, 20 enhanced human operatives moving with impossible speed and precision through the Arcturus facility. The aliens themselves were visible for the first time, tall, luminous beings with translucent skin that revealed complex circulatory systems pulsing with blue-white light. We recovered 6 live specimens and petabytes of data from their systems, Reznikov continued. Most importantly, we now have the coordinates of their homeworld. Director Tanaka leaned forward. And it's Proxima Centauri b. The Arcturus aren't just visitors, they've been our neighbors for centuries, watching, analyzing. Helios 9 was simply too close to their territory to ignore. Counselor Diaz shook her head in disbelief. All this time, just 4 light-years away. How soon before they retaliate? Asked Counselor Obesai, the former Nigerian general whose military expertise had shaped Earth's defensive strategy. As if in answer, alarms blared throughout the facility. A junior officer burst into the chamber. Director. Multiple gravitational anomalies detected in the outer solar system. Massive objects dropping out of FTL. The holographic display shifted to show feed from the Kuiper Belt Observatory. Dozens of spheres, each one dwarfing the vessel that had destroyed Helios 9, were emerging from what appeared to be tears in space itself. They've sent their war fleet, Reznikov said quietly. Phase 2 begins now. Admiral Hana Okuda had spent 30 years preparing for this day. From the command bridge of the UES Thermopylae, concealed within the rings of Saturn, she watched the Arcturus Armada approach. 64 vessels arranged in perfect geometric formation, already deploying smaller craft toward the inner planets. Status of the Ghost Fleet, she asked her executive officer, Commander Talos Reeves. All 300 ships at ready status, Admiral. Quantum entanglement network functioning at optimal levels. The Arcturus haven't detected them. Okuda nodded. The Ghost Fleet represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, warships controlled entirely by artificial intelligence, each one hosting the digitized consciousness of history's greatest military strategists. Genghis Khan commanded a squadron of stealth destroyers. Napoleon Bonaparte directed artillery frigates. Catherine the Great coordinated logistics and supply lines. These weren't mere simulations but reconstructed personalities built from historical records, psychological profiles, and advanced neural mapping. Time to Mars intercept? Okuda asked. 18 minutes, Admiral. Their advance vessels are moving faster than we anticipated. Okuda opened a secure channel to Earth. Defense Command, this is Admiral Okuda. The Arcturus fleet will reach Mars within 20 minutes and Earth shortly after. Is evacuation protocol Omega complete? Director Tanaka's voice came through clearly. Affirmative. Earth's population has been relocated to the subsurface habitats as planned. The surface cities are empty. And the Lazarus grid? Online and ready. Surface monitors show the Arcturus are broadcasting a message across all channels. The alien transmission played throughout the Thermopylae bridge. Humanity, you have demonstrated unexpected capabilities. Your attack on our research outpost will be answered with appropriate force. Surrender your genetic material willingly, and your species will be preserved in our archival banks. Resist, and you will be reduced to base elements. Okuda exchanged glances with Commander Reeves. They still think we're primitives, she said. Good. All ships, maintain stealth protocols, she ordered. Let them reach Earth. We spring the trap only when they're fully committed. The Arcturus spheres moved through the solar system with methodical precision. They obliterated the Mars colonies with casual efficiency, then proceeded toward Earth. Military installations on the Moon fired experimental phase cannons, weapons developed from reverse-engineered alien technology, but made little impact against the massive vessels. When the first sphere reached Earth orbit, it deployed a massive energy weapon that carved a smoldering canyon through the heart of East Africa. The second targeted North America, vaporizing cities from Toronto to Mexico City. The third erased most of Eastern Europe in a single blast. For 18 terrifying hours, the Arcturus fleet bombarded Earth's surface, turning cities to ash and forests to cinder. Oceans boiled away in targeted areas, and the atmosphere itself was set ablaze in controlled patterns. From Saturn, Admiral Okuda watched impassively. Status of Earth's surface, she asked. Approximately 63% destroyed or rendered uninhabitable, replied Commander Reeves, his voice tight with controlled emotion. The Arcturus appear to be systematically targeting population centers, infrastructure, and military installations. And our subsurface habitats? Holding steady. The quantum camouflage is working, they don't know our people are 3 kilometers below their feet. Okuda nodded. They believe they're witnessing our extinction. That's exactly what we want them to think. She stood from her command chair. Signal Dr. Reznikov. It's time for Phase 3. Deep beneath Geneva, Reznikov received the transmission and turned to the Defense Council. The Arcturus believe they've won. Now we show them what humanity does when pushed to the edge. He activated the quantum secure network that connected to every military installation remaining in the solar system. This is control. Authorization code Phoenix Omega 739. Initiate the Lazarus Protocol. Across Earth's devastated surface, what appeared to be natural formations, mountains, lake beds, ancient monuments, began to transform. Rock faces split open, revealing massive weapon emplacements. Ocean floors birthed rising platforms bearing missile arrays. Even the ruins of cities concealed vast defensive systems, built in secret over decades. The Lazarus Grid, humanity's last-ditch automated defense system, came online. In the lead Arcturus vessel, the collective's primary intelligence cluster experienced an emotion it had not felt in millennia: confusion. The planet they had just reduced to ruin was suddenly fighting back. Thousands of energy signatures bloomed across the devastated surface. Weaponry of unexpected sophistication targeted their spheres with unerring precision. Analysis, the intelligence demanded of its subordinate clusters. The humans concealed their true defensive capabilities, came the response. They allowed US to attack an empty shell. Before the primary intelligence could process this information, another report arrived: intrusion detected in vessels 7, 18, and 42. Unknown entities have bypassed security protocols. The Chimera operatives had boarded. On Arcturus Vessel 18, Operative Wraith moved through glowing corridors with fluid grace. Her enhanced vision allowed her to perceive the Arcturus guards before they detected her. With microscopic precision, she injected each one with a custom virus developed from the specimens captured on Titan, a pathogen that paralyzed their unique nervous systems without killing them. Central section secured, she subvocalized through her neural implant. Moving to the control nexus. Across the ship, operatives Kale and Talon were doing the same, systematically neutralizing resistance while gathering intelligence. The Arcturus, for all their advanced technology, had never encountered an enemy that could infiltrate their vessels. They had no protocols for close-quarters combat against enhanced humans who could move faster than their sensory systems could track. "Command, this is Chimera Team," Kale reported. "We've secured the primary control systems for 3 vessels and uploaded the quantum virus. Ready for Phase 4. In Geneva, Reznikov smiled. Proceed with deployment." The quantum virus spread through the Arcturus fleet's communal network like wildfire. Designed by Earth's most brilliant minds using insights gained from captured technology, it rewrote the Arcturus command protocols, temporarily paralyzing their offensive capabilities. "Ghost Fleet, this is Admiral Okuda," came the order from the Thermopylae. "Execute Operation Guillotine." 300 ships, previously invisible to Arcturus sensors, decloaked simultaneously. They had been positioned throughout the solar system, patiently waiting while Earth burned. Now they converged on the disoriented Arcturus fleet with perfect coordination. The Battle of Sol, as it would later be known, lasted just under 6 hours. The Ghost Fleet, commanded by history's greatest military minds and unburdened by human hesitation, executed maneuvers that would have killed organic pilots. They targeted weaknesses in Arcturus shields that had been identified through meticulous analysis, using weapons specifically designed to disrupt alien technology. By the time the Arcturus regained control of their systems, 29 of their vessels had been destroyed or disabled. The remainder consolidated into a defensive formation and retreated toward the outer system. Admiral Okuda allowed herself a small smile. "They're running. Should we pursue?" asked Commander Reeves. "No. Let them go. They need to deliver our message." 3 days later, as the Arcturus fleet limped back toward Proxima Centauri, they received a transmission, not just from Earth, but simultaneously from every human outpost and vessel in the solar system. Arcturus Collective. You have witnessed a fraction of humanity's defensive capability. We have spared your retreating forces as a courtesy, not from necessity. Be advised that the Threshold Protocol has now entered its final phase. Along with the message came a data packet containing precise scanning data of the Arcturus homeworld, including real-time imagery of their governmental complexes, population centers, and defense installations. The message was clear: we know exactly where you live. In the Geneva bunker, the Defense Council debated the final phase of the Threshold Protocol. "We have them on the run," argued Councillor Obesai. "The quantum fold weapon could eliminate their entire civilization in one strike. And make us no better than them," countered Councillor Diaz. "We've demonstrated our strength. Is genocide really necessary?" Dr. Reznikov watched the debate silently. The quantum fold weapon, a device capable of creating a localized spacetime implosion that would erase Proxima Centauri B from existence, represented humanity's most terrible creation. Designed as the ultimate deterrent, it had never been intended for use. Director Tanaka finally stood. The purpose of the Threshold Protocol was never extermination. It was to ensure that no species would ever again mistake humanity for easy prey. I believe we've achieved that objective. The vote was taken, 11 against deployment of the quantum fold weapon, 1 in favor. Dr. Reznikov nodded in acceptance, though his expression remained troubled. Very well. We will hold the weapon in reserve and offer the Arcturus terms for peaceful coexistence. As the council members filed out, Tanaka approached Reznikov privately. You seem disappointed, Doctor. Not disappointed. Concerned. The Arcturus underestimated us once. I hope we're not making the same mistake with them. Tanaka placed a hand on his shoulder. That's why we're keeping the Chimera operatives active and the Ghost Fleet deployed. Peace through strength, Doctor. We've earned our place among the stars today. 6 months later, as Earth's surface reconstruction began, a delegation from the Arcturus Collective arrived in Earth orbit. Their request for diplomatic contact was granted under heavily controlled conditions. The Arcturus ambassador, a being taller and more luminous than its warriors, appeared before the Defense Council in holographic form. The collective has reassessed humanity's position in the galactic order, it stated. Your species has demonstrated unexpected resilience and technological sophistication. We propose a mutual non-aggression pact. Director Tanaka responded calmly. We are prepared to establish peaceful relations, with certain non-negotiable conditions. First, the return of all human genetic material and subjects taken from Helios 9. Second, recognition of human sovereignty over our existing territories and future expansions. Third, technological exchange under strictly regulated protocols. The probe's destination, a distant star where long-range scans had detected signs of a habitable world. Its mission, to establish a hidden colony, unknown to Earth or the Arcturus Collective. A safeguard for humanity, should the peace ever fail. As the probe accelerated toward its destination, the digital consciousness of Commander Voss contemplated the message that would eventually reach this new world. We are humanity. We prefer peace, but we prepare for war. We forgive, but we never forget. And should anyone threaten our existence again, remember what happened to the Arcturus Collective when they crossed the threshold. This is not a warning. It is a promise. Throughout the galaxy, the story spread from species to species, the tale of how a primitive race from a backwater planet had brought a cosmic superpower to heel. Not through superior technology or overwhelming numbers, but through determination, sacrifice, and the willingness to do whatever was necessary to survive. The message was clear, transmitted in 1,000 galactic languages, etched into the collective memory of spacefaring civilizations. Leave Earth alone.